have very intense tenant verification now all across the state, and all the officers, they are going to be sensitized about it. Apart from that, we are going to reorganize our patrolling pattern of PCR vans as well as motorcycle patrolling, and even the night patrolling which takes place, keeping in view our priorities from the tourist point of view, the flow of tourists in the coastal area. This patrolling is also going to be reorganized. I must tell you that we have recently, I think maybe 15 or 1 month before, we have dedicated 5 highway patrol vans in the first phase, and out of these patrol vans, there are 2 patrol vans which are in South District and 3 patrol vans are in the North District. They have a dedicated beat, it is round the clock, and they have a dedicated mandate. Apart from prevention of crime on the highway patrol, one of the very important mandate which is given, and the duty which has been given to the highway patrol, is also to attend to senior citizens, people who are stranded in distress on the highway, in case they need any kind of a help, which can also be organized by the police through their intervention. So these highway patrols are round the clock, and they are operating in both the districts. As I told you, they have a dedicated beat. You may have come across that from the narcotics point of view, we have now started. I have been getting a lot of feedback from many of my media friends only, and other people also, saying that the educational institutions and in and around areas are becoming vulnerable for the from the drugs point of view. From that angle, anti-narcotic cell, in cooperation with the Department of Food and Drug Administration also, they have started conducting raids. We recently had a raid in Ponda, and this is also going to be a normal feature. It will be by an element of surprise, but we are definitely going to cover most of these kiosks who happen to be vulnerable from that point of view. As you know, we have a community policing scheme, Saath Samvad. So both the district SPs, they have been directed to get in touch with the important stakeholders from the tourist point of view, and in the forthcoming tourist season, and to interact with the area residents. I also take this opportunity to share some of the important things where I would seek the indulgence of community at large, community as a whole, where we have come across, I think, cases where I think some basic precautions, if it would have been taken by the resident, it could have prevented a particular crime to take place and all. I'll cite an example of a case in which a drug peddler was caught, and during the investigation we came to know that he had procured the SIM cards for the cell phone on the basis of the identity provided by the landlord or the place where he was staying. And later on we came to know, although in that case we did prosecute the person who had in fact facilitated that identity proof, but it was actually misused. So see, it's an international tourist destination. You have people who come with a very pious motive of enjoying the beauty of this particular place, but there are also people who come to this area with some ulterior motives, and any antisocial element, any criminal who comes to any place requires some kind of a logistic base in the area where he is going to stay. For logistic base, he would like to have an accommodation. For communication, he would like to have, if he has come, he would like to procure some kind of a mobile phone network and all this. And for this, they have been, I would say, exploiting the innocence of some of the residents where they are staying. So residents have to be careful about it when they are actually providing their identity proof to someone else, so that it is not misused by the other person or for some ulterior motives. No, as far as I know, I mean, this was told to me 2 days back by some press people only, but they are not here, and normally if they come, they will definitely get in touch with me. Last time when they were here, before that they had informed us and they wanted. So as of now, when I'm talking to you, I have no official information regarding presence of any NIA team, but NIA team has its own local unit also here. But if they conduct some kind of an investigation related to that, then definitely they don't take into. But any team from Delhi, as of now, I don't think that it has. I think यहाँ verification के लिए जैसे normally we'll write to district magistrate that there should be a certain period के लिए, at least during the tourist season, it should be made mandatory on the part of the people who are renting out premises to, for example, in Delhi we have, I mean, 144, under 144, if there is a violation, then the action is taken against the landlord if he fails to provide us those details. सजा नहीं, वो तो कोई guidelines और directions जो होगा, definitely it will be issued by that. We are trying to talk with the collector. इसका नहीं, this should go. This is why I'm talking to you, that it should be shared. In fact, the tenant verification details or details about any servants, any employer who is being kept at premises, they become very handy in case a crime takes place. You know, police doesn't have supernatural powers to solve. We also operate on the basis of some, we try to reach from the crime to criminal on the basis of some important leads. And these are important documents which do provide us some enough clue to proceed further during investigation. And that is why we have time and again emphasized the need for these kind of details. Whenever I would like citizens also to exercise caution that the credentials of the person who approaches to get the premises should also be verified. You know, at times it happens that criminals who intend to take a premises on rent, they would like to give exorbitant rent also. They would like to pay more rent than the market rent of that area. But more money which is being offered is not taken with a pinch of salt. I would expect that if the market rate of a house on rent is 5,000, then if a person who comes and offers 20,000 or 15,000 for that same house, then the landlord should take this with a pinch of salt, that why he is after all paying this much money. I think this is a basic precaution which, because those people who come with a limited period, with ulterior motives, they would definitely like to pay more than the market rate also to facilitate smooth entry into that premises. So I think we should be cautious when we are at least going to rent out our premises. After all, even if a premises which has been rented out to somebody, suppose it has been misused by, and it is discovered by the landlord who has given it on rent, and during inspection, if he is able to inspect the house and he finds some such things which should not have been in the place in the normal course of the time, which should not have been in any normal circumstances with a peace-loving who who's staying in a place, then that thing should also be actually reported to the police. We all know about a case in which the house was locked, it was broken, and chemicals and everything was recovered from that house. It was dumped in the courtyard. Apart from that, even a two-wheeler was also recovered later on. The same was being used, although it belonged to someone else. I think when the landlord was able to see such kind of things, his moral duty was that he should have at least informed the local police. So it is not that we are trying to find fault with any kind of a thing. You see, I personally believe that today the prevention of crime has many stakeholders, and we would like citizens who are a very important stakeholders. 80% of the police resources is devoted to them only. We would like them to be on board when we are trying to enforce the various measures for the prevention of crime in day-to-day policing. And I would like to make this clear that while we welcome all the tourists who come here with an open heart, I mean, this state is known for its hospitality, but at the same time, if someone who comes with some kind of an ulterior motive, he intends to use the premises for his nefarious design, then I think we will definitely come down very heavy on such kind of elements. We would not allow this place to be used as a safe haven, and in this device and this endeavor of the Goa police, I would expect very active cooperation of our citizens in day-to-day policing. Thank you. This is what I all had to share with all of you. Yes, this was also, I think I must tell you that we, particularly in the Vasco area, it was reported that there have been some cases of missing and all. There was one case of missing which was actually highlighted, and on which there is some, I had personally discussed that case of the missing of that child, in which he actually went missing with someone else, in which a missing report was lodged in the Maharashtra also.
Yeah,
but I have...
Human Rights Commission is presently handling that case. Mother said that my son might have been...
No, but I have, in that issue, yes, in that case, the Vasco police has registered formally a case of kidnapping on the complaint of the mother who just gave us, and they are investigating every angle to that particular place.
Why I was saying is,
yes.
basically the case with Human Rights Commission is that when the mother approached police, they were not cooperative. They sent her saying that your jurisdiction comes in that Maharashtra place. That mother says, I went to Maharashtra. They said that no, your jurisdiction is Vasco.
No, Mr. Kamath,
police registered the case.
I think I really do not know whether we are talking about that same case. There is one other case in which, also a missing stands lodged in some police station in Maharashtra. The person with whom this person has gone, he also went to him. But when the mother approached the police, and then they said that we suspect that probably he has been kidnapped, so a case had been registered in that case.